Ttcf stock. Yeah, the most hated stock, controversial stock on my channel in a long, long time. That's the one we're talking about here today. Let me first start by saying there's no winning when it comes to me with Ttcf stock in terms of the hate about when I talk about this stock, because if, like, I haven't made a Ttcf dedicated video in quite a while. And when I don't, people say, like, I get hate, like, oh, you're not talking about the stock, you coward. You never talk about Ttcf in depth anymore. You used to do videos on it. You never talk about it. So it's like, okay, so I guess I'll do a Ttcf video. But then if I do a Ttcf video, I get other hate. And it's like, oh, you're trying to pump the stock. And it's like, oh my gosh, man, I literally can't win. Like, I can't win. So when it comes to Ttcf and me, I'm just going to make videos when I want to make videos, when I have a lot to update. And dang, we got a lot to update in this video, okay? We're going to talk about the stock price. It's been devastated. We're going to talk about the fundamentals of the company. We're going to talk about where I'm at with this stock personally. Am I buying shares, selling shares? What am I doing, okay? We're going to talk about, like, the future, the upcoming earnings. They have earnings come out less than a week. So we got a lot to discuss in this video. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you're looking to set up a crypto account with FTX US, check out the pinned comment down there. It's the easiest way to buy crypto. Also 24/7 customer support, 85% lower fees than competitors. Use a referral code, Holy Smokers, and get yourself some free crypto whenever you place your first trades through there, okay? So, I mean, here's the stock chart. It's been absolutely devastating. I mean, this, stock was $300+ last year. Now it's 100. Wait, no, sorry. My fault. This is Alibaba stock. This is Alibaba stock down 68%. No, I do apologize for that, guys. I have three friends. They wanted me to explain to them, like, how an ADR works and the risks that come with that. They didn't really understand how that works. And so I was explaining that. I forgot about that, okay? There's the chef, okay, Ttcf. It's been nasty, okay? And specifically, it got really nasty with the chef recently. Let's be very clear about that. This stock was chilling in 12, 13 range for quite a while. And even as the market was falling and just in a bad place, Ttcf held up pretty decent. That was up until about a month and a half ago. And it just absolutely fell through the floor. I mean, it fell off a cliff, literally, like, just insane how rapidly this stock fell, okay? So, first off, and I think this is very important, I think everybody's wondering, my opinion just as far as the stock price goes, right? We're not going to talk about fundamentals, just the stock price. From a buying perspective, and remember, there's a few stocks that I said coming into this year, I was prepared to buy them the entire year, right? The Chef was one of those. Honest, HNST is one of those. Oatly is one of those stocks that I just want to continue to buy this entire year, essentially. Now, there's been other stocks that have dropped a ton that have come up to my attention that I've bought shares of recently. Meta, when that one dropped huge recently. Amazon, I've been starting to buy some shares of. And, PayPal, I started to buy some shares of. So there's a few stocks out there that have dropped that caught my attention. But let's be very clear, like, there's the three core stocks that I've wanted to add a lot of shares of have been those three companies, okay? Planet would also kind of be in that bunch, but a little further back than those particular stocks, okay? And so seeing that it's kind of like a bittersweet thing, right? It's like one side of me is like, oh man, this is awesome. I get to buy a lot more shares for a lot cheaper than I planned to. Like, I expected to be buying shares in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 range. I can buy at 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, like a lot cheaper. I can get a lot more shares with my money, right? And so that's cool to see. On the same other side, right? It's not fun to necessarily see your stock get that devastated and get hammered, right? And obviously, you have to get the hate along with that. Obviously, if you're at home and, you don't have a brand or anything like that, you don't have to hear it from anybody. But, when you're somebody like me that's in the spotlight, you're definitely going to you're going to get a lot of trolling. You're going to get a lot of hate. You're going to get a lot of, being made fun of and those sorts of things. And, like, for me in the spotlight, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been in the spotlight for a long time. It's just a bigger spotlight than it's ever been. But for me, at the end of the day, it's like it comes with the territory. So it's like I said, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. It's like one side, it's like, my stock's down huge as far as the stock price goes. The other part of me says, well, I get to buy a lot more shares for cheaper. So I'd call it a bittersweet when it comes to kind of that, right? I did just buy literally today, and I bought another 1,000 Tattooed Chef shares at $771 there, okay? Now, as far as me, how many shares do I own? My goals when it comes to stock 87,000 plus shares is what I own currently. My goal is to get over 100,000 shares by the end of summer, essentially. That's where I want to go. As far as Tattoo Chef's market cap right now, it's a little over $600 million right now. And obviously, they're a growth beast, and we'll get into all that in just a moment here. Now, if you didn't know, their earnings call is coming up very soon. And I mean very, very soon, Monday, May 9th. After the stock market closes, Tattoo Chef's reporting. And I mean, the first thought I had when I saw this here today was, oh, they're actually going to be like in a decent time. They're not going to lag this time. May 9th is pretty soon. I mean, you know, the big techs and all those companies have just been reporting recently. So the fact that Tattoo Chef's already ready, this shows me, as far as the financial side of the company, they're definitely in a much better place than they've been. Because I mean, I think most people that are watching this video right now, you've been tracking the whole Ttcf story and the saga. It has been, right? And they had to reschedule one of their earnings calls last minute. It was a bad look for the company, and had to get some stuff re-audited and stuff like that. So the fact that this company is confident now and is ready to come out with numbers, and like the numbers are ready, that's a step in the right direction from that side of the company, right? Which there's no doubt that's a side of the management company, right? The management team, right? I mean, it's one thing, you know, you're distributing products, you're getting in stores, things like that. But at the same time, you're a public company. If you're going to come with the numbers, you better come with them on time, and they better be, you know, ready to rock and roll. And so I think this is a step in the right direction when it comes to that side, because a lot of investors, you know, in order to get folks, I think, interested in Tattoo Chef, especially for bigger investors and funds and things like that, they've got to be consistent with coming out with their numbers and having everything ready to rock and roll. And you can't have mistakes when it comes to that, okay? So they had their one big mistake there where they had to do that last minute reschedule a couple quarters ago, and now it's like, you know, hopefully that's a thing of the past, and now they're just ready to rock and roll moving forward, okay? Now, when it comes to this upcoming quarter, 22.3% revenue growth is expected for the March quarter. You know, there's so many moving parts with Tattoo Chef, like how much goes into Sam's Club, Costco, stores like that, grocery stores, like when does Target get orders? I mean, it's a lot of moving parts when it comes to this company. So, I mean, predicting the revenue is really, really challenging for me right now. What I am pretty excited about is next quarter is expected to have a reacceleration of growth, which is really something you want to see with a public company. Now, as this year goes on, I want to see progress made in the EPS. I do not expect the company to be positive EPS at all this year, okay? I do, however, expect the company to make progress to getting themselves to a place where in 2023 they can start knocking out a few profitable quarters, okay? And I think that's very, very important. And I just touched on something that investors that are maybe on the sideline looking at Tattoo Chef, there's a few important things for them. One is you got to come out with your numbers on time, right? And everything's got to be clean as far as that goes. Two, a lot of folks want to see this company make progress toward that profitability, and then hopefully in 23 start flipping to profitable quarters. It's very, very key, because when it comes to the food industry, a lot of investors won't consider a company that's not profitable. They just won't, regardless of the growth. And you got to understand, when it comes to the food industry, the respect you usually get is for cash flow. And the respect you usually get as a food company is for, you know, at the end of the day, your net income and your EPS. And that's what gets you a lot of respect, right? And so Tattoo Chef's a little bit of a different animal, and this is not a thing that's usual in the stock market, where you get an insane growth, innovative company in the food space. This doesn't, I mean, the food industry, it's like a put me to sleep industry where companies grow 2 to 5% a year. And that's like good growth for them, like 4%. It's like, woo, good growth for you, right? You know, companies like Chef that could be putting up quarters of 20, 30, 40% growth. That's freakish, okay? That doesn't just usually happen. So when it comes to the Chef, investors want to see progress made toward EPS. And I'm hoping that as the quarters tick on as a year, I'm hoping the June quarter is in even a better place than the March quarter. I'm hoping the, what would it be, September quarter is in even a better place. And I'm hoping the December quarter is even in a better place. They just continue to make progress on getting their EPS closer and closer to flipping to profitability. And then in 23, they start flipping to some profitable quarters. That'd be huge. I mean, absolutely massive for the stock price if you're going to attract new big investors to this, okay? Now, fundamentals, you know, there's a lot I've been seeing, okay? Somebody posted this up from a Target store in California, essentially. And I mean, first off, you know, it's incredible the progress this company's made from being basically non-existent in Target 2 years ago to now having, like, you know, basically a full door dedicated to them in a lot of these stores, right? And so they're starting to get a lot of different products in here, including like the quesadilla products. They're starting to get burritos into these stores. By the way, I tried this one tonight. I bought one of those for the first time. It was really good. You got burritos down here. By the way, the shelving is like a mess right now. I'm sure they're still like doing redos and whatnot of the shelf space. But it's exciting to see these new SKUs in there. And when it comes to quesadillas, they just showed those products off like probably 2 months ago or so. So the fact that those products went from being shown off to already in Target stores that quickly, it's just, like I said, I've never seen a food company move this fast, ever. Not one ever moved this fast. It's incredible, okay? Somebody posted this. These are some items they got from a big grocery store in Florida. And some of these products, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get my hands on some of these. The almond butter banana smoothie bowl, I can see that doing really, really well if it tastes good. I'll have to try that one. You got to be flipping my flapjacks, okay? Griddle pancake breakfast bowl, that looks amazing. I can't wait to try that one. They got plant-based sausage, egg, and cheese burritos. I can't wait till we get some of these on the West Coast. I can tell you, I can see these products doing really, really darn well. I've seen how well the Aussie bowls do for Tattooed Chef, and so I can't wait to get my hands on these. I would love to try these. This one too. And when it comes to Chef, I just love how fearless they are, that they're not afraid to get in anything. And so they're obviously taking the breakfast game very, very serious. They have, they create Italian-related products. They create Mexican-related products. They create Asian-related products. Like, they'll tackle anything. And that just makes me pretty darn excited about this, because basically in the food industry, most companies are moving at a snail's pace, okay? And for them to come out with some new SKU is like, it's got to go through so many bureaucratic processes. It's ridiculous. The Chef, man, they come out with a good product and they get it on store shelves like that. And that's a difficult thing to do, but the Chef manages to do it, right? Somebody took this picture in the private stock group, posted up in Alaska, and got all the different types of pizzas there. Plant-based pizzas are obviously a pretty big opportunity. The frozen pizza categories, obviously, if you know anything about that, that's a massive category. They got products that I didn't even know about. Some of these products, buffalo cauliflower burgers there. There's just so many products this company already is getting in these stores. And like I said, no one ever heard of this company 2 years ago. And so when you see it getting into all these massive food stores this quickly, and the adoption, the sell-through and all those things, right? And you see these major retailers want to take more and more SKUs. They're not doing Tattooed Chef any favors. They're doing that because Tattooed Chef is moving volume. And that's how they keep getting more and more products into these retailers, and then saying, okay, let's bring in three more. Okay, maybe this one didn't quite make it, so we'll clearance this one off, bring in three more. Oh, these are looking great, right? And they just keep scaling and getting more and more shelf space. I've just seen them continue to take shelf space in all the major grocery stores, in Target. It's amazing, right? And that's from a grocery store there. This is actually a picture I personally took. This is in Henderson, Nevada. A Costco plant-based cheese enchiladas there. Now, when it comes to Costco and Sam's Club, this is very important for everybody to understand that's watching this right now. And always remember this, not just for Tattooed Chef, but for any company in the future. How this works essentially is, Sam's Club, Costco's, if they think a product's going to do well, they'll bring it in and they'll sell through it, and sometimes they won't recarry that product unless it's like something that they have to keep selling. But in the food category, if you ever have paid attention in Sam's Club and Costco, they just run through products. They'll sell through it, and then so what happens essentially is people get really excited because all of a sudden, like, 5 Tattooed Chef items will be in let's say a Sam's Club, for instance. 1 month they go back and it's like 2 items, and like, oh my gosh, there's only 2 items now, right? And then they go back the next month and all of a sudden it's 4 items, and like, oh, now it's 4, and like, now it's 6, oh, now it's 1, oh, now it's 5. And so it causes confusion with people out there. How grocery stores operate and how like a Target would operate very differently than Sam's Club, Costco. They're bringing in different items all the time, selling through it. Like, send me a massive volume, right? It will sell through it. And then, you might not have those spots, and it's a bunch of other companies the next month. And then all of a sudden the next month you get those spots, right? And so it's very important to understand the difference between that and a grocery store. Because a grocery store, they set all their shelves for a 6-month span or a 12-month span. And that's that. for that 6 months or that 12 months, and they're going to keep those exact products in there, and then we'll see what moves over that 6 month or 12 month span, and then they'll move certain products out, they'll clear certain products out, they'll bring new products in. But Sam's Club and Costco, those ones, it's a different breed. Like the way they operate is just very, very different, especially in the food game. They'll bring in stuff, they try it, they want to pique, people's curiosity, and unless something sells that insane that all their customer base really wants it consistently, they throw a lot of different stuff out there, okay? And so always remember that when it comes to Costco and Sam's Club. But there's no doubt, like, Costco and Sam's Club are great partners for Tattooed Chef and brings a lot of awareness to the company that just wouldn't be there, right? So this was a picture I personally took at Target in Vegas here. Very excited about, like I said, this product was really, really good. This one was okay, the plant-based al pastor quesadilla there. But yeah, they just continue to get more and more SKUs, the burritos, the burrito bowls. It's just amazing to see how much progress they're making consistently. And like I said, there's just not a lot of companies that are really executing. There's no company in the food game that's executing the way Tattooed Chef is, okay? And so I continue to be very, very happy about the fundamentals of the company. Now, I thought this was important. I posted this in the private Discord chat the other night. I said, when you're in a strong bull market or strong bear market, a rational commentary is made. This can be videos, articles, podcasts, TV appearances, etc. I said, remember from early 2021, the AMC's going to $100,000 movement. At the end of a bull cycle, anything can be thrown out there. Currently, we're going through an ultra bear cycle. NASDAQ through the first 4 months of the year is down more than the start of any year in history, January 1 through the end of April. Currently, bears on stocks or the market are starting to throw out any price on a stock and saying it will go down, right? This is fairly easy to do as stocks are being destroyed. For some folks, it's frustrating to see this commentary. It adds insult to injury. It causes more fear as the market is already ultra fearful. It doesn't bother me too much as I understand the cycle we are in. Irrational times are followed by irrational commentary. The NASDAQ was down over 4% yesterday because I posted this on a Saturday night, and that Friday there, this past Friday was obviously the NASDAQ was down over 4%. You could say anything bad about stocks and you looked like a genius because, everything's getting slaughtered. There's a famous saying that all bulls look like a genius in a strong bull market. The same can be said for bears. All bears look like a genius in a strong bear market. You can trash any stock and you'll look like a genius while they're taking their toll. That is a cycle we are in. Eventually that will end and the bears will be caught in a vicious bear trap. It's just how it goes. My only advice is understand the cycle you are going through, and it will not be as demoralizing to see folks write highly bearish articles, record highly bearish videos, etc. about stocks you might hold. P.S. Fun fact. In 2018, Seeking Alpha published over 50 articles on how Tesla was doomed. Very easy to kick a dog while it's down, a stock when it's down, or a person while they're down. The much harder thing to do is take the high road. A coach once told me, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. And it's just the truth. And so, when it comes to me with the chef, I am as confident as I've ever been, if not more confident than I've ever been, that I will be right in this. I will be vindicated, and I will win huge. And Tattooed Chef will be a multi-billion-dollar company, and I will make a ton of money. And not only that, everybody will have seen what I saw before everybody else saw it. Okay, and that's how I feel, and that's why I continue to buy these shares, and I'll continue to put my money where my mouth is. If there's one thing you know about me, I always put my money where my mouth is, and I talk a big game on the chef. I talk a big game. I'm not going to lie about that. I talk a big game on the chef. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'll keep putting my money where my mouth is, and I'll keep investing in this one. I'll keep building my position bigger, and I will win on this one long term. And I'm very, very confident in that. And, when no one else sees it, or a lot of people don't see it at that time, it's hard to explain. But what I know is plant-based eating is just going to get bigger and bigger. And every month that ticks by, more and more people are switching. What I do know is every single month, Tattooed Chef's brand is getting more and more known. What I do know is every single month, Tattooed Chef's making new relationships with new retailers and getting in better than ever with them. And what I do know is Tattooed Chef is a growth beast and will continue to be a growth beast, in my opinion, for as long as I can see. And what I do know is that company doesn't seem to be slowing up at all when it comes to innovating products and coming out with new SKUs and just keeping the pedal to the metal. And so that leaves me very, very confident in a time period when stocks are getting killed. And Tattooed Chef is just one of thousands of stocks that have been absolutely destroyed this year. I am very confident that when it's all said and done, it will be a huge winner for me, and I'll make a ton of money. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think I'm right. And I'm not willing to throw this much money behind a stock unless I'm pretty darn sure I'm right. And so anyways, guys, much love as always. Hope you enjoyed this, and have a great day.